Hi everyone, VortexTCG here, and today we're back with a brand new gameplay video. Feels like I haven't done a gameplay video in quite a while, and if you're looking forward to this gameplay video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. But in today's game, I'm playing Fenriloogamon, an updated version of the list that I showcased previously, which we'll find out very quickly because I played that card. Yeah, my opponent on the right is going to be playing Mastemon, Yellow Vaccine. So some interesting options going on with both of us here. Me using obviously the new BT15 support, and my opponent using primarily the BT14 support, which, you know, as a person that played Yellow Vaccine for quite a lot the time, it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. So here I'm just going to play an analog youth here to dump and then add one. So I add the Fenriloogamon here, which is going to help me get to my Fenry play. He's going to go Mastemon, and unfortunately he doesn't get anything in his security, so he goes back and shuffles the security again. So very unfortunate for my opponent here. Always hate to see it when you go into a Mastemon and you don't get anything. So he goes TK here, and I was kind of wondering, is there like a scenario where he had the TK last turn? Maybe he could have done, you know, Patter into TK and then guarantee the level 4. Obviously not 100% sure what my opponent's hand is at that point, but definitely consider that, you know, because that is just something that, you know, is one of the core gameplay loops for the Yellow Vaccine deck as a whole. So I'm going to promote the Loogamon here, which is going to allow me to potentially get a Tamer out, but in this case I'm actually not. The reason why I'm doing this is because I just kind of want to get the Luga in the trash so I can go into Hell, which will allow me to recycle it again. So unfortunately here though, I'm not able to cycle because I have to pass with 3 and I'll go back to 1, unfortunately. So here I'll delete, draw 2 cards, then add a Luga back, and then get to trash some cards if I want to. So I'm just going to be deleting essentially the Patamon here because, you know, we cannot, you know, allow him to gain more advantage that way. So I know he didn't bring a level 4 into the security though, but yeah, it's just, you know, you've got to get rid of those Patamons while you can. So my opponent's going to go into the Angemon here, which is, I believe this is from the BT11. I think it's like on deletion, play a Devimon, I believe it is. Something that I haven't seen in a long time. He swings at security and hits a missed memory boost. And at this point, it's going to be very difficult for my opponent to go through this game, if I'm being honest. Just because, unfortunately, he is going to have the issue of... because I just have a lot of memory essentially going on my side of the field. I'm essentially guaranteed 4 memory, and I don't think my opponent's playing anything to stop him, so he's going to use effects, which allows him to go set me to 1 memory. So pretty good for my opponent here. So I'm just going to use this turn to essentially set up, because at this point I think that's pretty much all I need to do. Because if I can set up properly, I think at that point I could pretty much win the game in my opinion. So I think here is just a bit confused, like, did I tap for the memory? He did, obviously. So yeah, so he is going, well, I'm just going to go look at my hand, see if there's any way that I could potentially get the Tamer, because I think at this point I was struggling finding the Tamer. So I swing a security because I assume it's going to get deleted through the Mastemon coming up. So at this point I think I just end up playing the Ukomon to pass the turn. So if it does survive for some reason through the DNA, I'm able to at least get some more advantage that way for finding the Tamer if I need to. So now he goes into the Mastemon, and now his main effects start to activate. So in this case, he's going to get the Devimon, put it into security, then look at the security, and then play one out. He's going to play the Angemon here, which is going to allow him to recover. No, he doesn't get to recover. I don't think he doesn't get to recover, unfortunately. Oh no, he does. He gets to gain the memory here because he added 1 back to the security here. So he swings, doesn't get anything, so he just plays the Tsukaimon, and at this point I'm in a bit of a weird situation, because essentially he has 2 guys that has blocker and retaliation just due to the inheritables on the Mastemon. So at this point, I'm definitely a little bit worried because I'm just checking the card here because I'm like, is that what the card does? Turns out that is what the card does. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult from this point onwards, I feel. So I'm gonna be able to get the tamer, get the memory out here, which could be important. That tamer is obviously pivotal for this strategy, but I think I can actually play through this weirdly. And the reason why I think I can play this through is because I actually think I can remove the whole board because I do have the, what is it called again? It's the, what was it? I can't even remember the card. It's the level 5 that DNAs. I cannot remember the name. But essentially that's going to help me go through the battle. And it's really annoying when I don't even remember those cards. Oopsie. Chimera. Chimera is the card. There you go. I remember now. So now I get to play cards, use the Fangmon, gain 2 memory here to return 1, then trash 1. In this case, I'm going to trash the Fenrir. This is going to allow me to go into the Fenriloogamon, which allows me to play 3 more guys because I have the Tamer. So in this case, I am going to go and play the Tyranno, the Lugar, and the Lugar. And get to unsuspend because I played something, get to search, add the Tamer, add the Lugar, and now I get to trash 1 card as well. You might have seen a proxy card in there. That is just another analog youth that I currently do not own for some reason. I don't know how I don't have 4 of those, but here we are. So here I'm going to quickly change it out because my opponent's fine with that. I did ask, don't want to make it seem like I'm doing anything bad here. So I'm going to essentially alliance here, and the reason why I do this is just because I want to force him to block in this situation. So there's no on deletion effects for me, but I get to gain 2 memory and hatch another egg, which is going to be quite nice. So in this case, I can now go into Chimeramon, which is going to be huge for me. Get to put 1 underneath from the Chimeramon effect, and then get to do some DP reduction. Unfortunately, the DP reduction in this situation isn't going to be enough to get rid of the Angiwomon, which is going to be problematic for me. But however, we just put them all underneath. So I go Lugamon here, and I get to do -1k to both of them. So yippee for me, I guess. So in this situation, I am currently at 2. So now I am going to go into, I believe, the EG here, which is going to be quite important because I'll then gain memory because I played a SOC card. Yeah, just insane. I don't know why that is a thing. So now I'm just checking. So now I'm back at 2. So now I can actually go into the Fenriloogamon again, which is just a bit crazy. So yeah, I go into it by hard playing it, get to use its effect to I get to put that play and then get to put these 3 guys in. My opponent was fine with it. I didn't just, I made sure he was fine with it because I know, if he was to say no, I would completely understand it. But yeah, so I swing and then unsuspend due to the on deletion effect and then swing for 2 checks. And then I get to do it again. Unfortunately, I don't have the Black Gato in this situation, which kind of sucks, but I do it just to make sure I'm alive. And at this point, I just go into the Helllugamon, trash to delete, or draw 2, return a Lugo if there is one. There is. Oh no, there isn't. I trash that and then get to delete the guy. So in this case, now my opponent has a pretty big wall to climb. He's essentially got to clear all the bodies out, and I don't know if he's able to do that. But that Angiwomon is going to definitely be helpful in that situation. But unfortunately, he cannot do that because it needs to be a yellow Digimon. So very unfortunate for my opponent there. If it was yellow, he would obviously be able to clear the Fenriloogamon, but I think there wasn't much he could do really from that point onwards. So I think he's just trying to play it out, see if there's anything else he can potentially do. Goes into the Angiwomon anyways in this situation, and I think he's just really lacking the DNA. I feel like if he had the DNA, he could potentially get somewhere on this turn, but unfortunately he cannot, and I pretty much swing for game, and I win game 1. We then get into game 2, and my opponent is going to be starting by going into the Tokomon here, goes into the Patamon, and then is going to be playing, I believe, one of the other cards in his hand. What's it going to be? We'll never find out. It's going to be, I believe this is the Sunomon? I can't remember exactly. Yeah, so he's going to do that, and he's going to be able to search a angel, a fallen angel, or something else like that. In this case, he's going to go for the Angemon, and he's going to turn the rest to the bottom of the deck. I go into Ukamon here, and then pass the turn by playing Tyranno, get to the top 4, add the Luger, and then trash a card from my hand. In this case, I'm going to trash the Black Gato from my hand, passing the turn back to him. So now, now we just essentially see what he can be able to do. So he goes into not raising into the battle area, start a main phase, get to Digivolve into a level 4, gets to draw from the evolution. I have to tell him here because I don't think he's super used to the rulings in this, but essentially he's forced to Digivolve. When he Digivolves, he draws first, so he then puts the Angemon back at the top and then gets to draw and then gain certain memory. So some pretty nice consistency from my opponent here. So now it is just a case of what can he do on this following turn. So I think he's thinking of some other options here. I think I see the Gatomon in there. Definitely think he should be playing that because it's just really good search for his deck, and also, you know, just able to Digivolve for cheaper on following turns. So, but he goes into the Devimon here, which I believe gives it Rush. So he swings at security, and this is an analog youth. It's a proxy. Apologies for that, but in this situation, you know, I get pretty much everything I need. I think about adding the Luger, but I actually want to go for the Soul Luger here. So I add that, and then trash the rest. So I've got the EG ready to go for the following turn, and now it's just a case of how my opponent's going to pass the turn. And I think here he's considering a few options, but I think overall he's going to go for the Tamer, and he's thinking about it. He's going to swing first, and it dies, unfortunately, so maybe not as good advantage as he wants it to be, but he plays the TK in this situation, adds 1, and returns 1 to the bottom of the security stack. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. He puts the Angemon in there, and yeah, so I'm at, I believe, 3 memory now due to the Uko. Now I get to Digivolve into the Lugamon here, which is going to be quite nice. I go into the analog, look at the top 3, I add the Hell and trash the rest, and then to, I believe, end the turn here. I think at this point I have pretty good control of the game. I go into the Hell here, which allows me to delete, trash, draw 2, and then add a Luger, and then get to trash 1 to delete the Devimon. So at this point, I don't think my opponent has much advantage going on. Sure, he does have the Tamer out, but I'm essentially able to continue my turn by suspending these guys, going to 0 memory, and then playing another Digimon. I think in this case, I'm looking at my trash, see if there's any options I can do, but I play a Lugamon to pass the turn because I have an EG in hand, so potentially on the following turn, I can go Luger, Luger, EG, and that's going to give me a +2 memory alongside another memory from the Ukomon. He goes into the level 3 again, allows him to search the top 3 cards of his deck, which allows him to add an angel, a fallen angel, etc. So all the stuff is searchable here other than the Kari. So it's just a case of what he wants essentially. And so he goes for the Lady Devimon here, which is hopefully going to help him get out of this little bit of an issue. But unfortunately, he is at 0 memory, so he can't really do much now. So he gives me 5 memory by playing the Mirai. And my god, this Mirai is quite expensive now. I think last time I checked, it was like around 15 to 20, and it's a super rare. So should have picked them up when I had the chance, I guess, when I was thinking of playing it in BT11. I think even in BT11 it was only like 8. So investors take I guess. So now essentially, yeah, I'm just checking that it's perfectly fine with my opponent again. He says it's perfectly fine. Again, not if he says no, perfectly fine, understood. What he's if he doesn't want to do it, it's perfectly fine. So then I go into Lugar, trash the Soul, go into the Soul, play level 4, use the Fang, go into the Fenrir, which then allows me to, well, I gain memory first and then go into the Fang. Then I get to add and then trash the Fenrir, and then go and play some other guys. So in this case, I'm playing the Tyranno, the Black Gato, the Lugar. So got some good advantage here. Add the 2 here, and then get to trash a card. In this case, I trash a Lugamon from BT15. Then I get to unsuspend because I played a guy, and then Alliance for 2 checks. First check is Mirai, second check is the level 3 again. Swing, get to Alliance, delete the other level 3 on the field, then get to unsuspend, do another 2 checks, do another check, and then swing for game.